In the sacred scrolls of Japanese mythology, one name radiates brighter than all others: Amaterasu, the sun goddess, the divine light, the celestial force whose glow touches both gods and mortals alike. Her story isn't just shining above us, it's about what happens when the light disappears, when the world is plunged into chaos and the gods themselves must trick the sun back into the sky. Welcome back to another episode of Secret Archives. Today, we are diving into one of the most iconic myths in Japanese folklore, the tale of Amaterasu and the Heavenly Rock Cave, an ancient story of light, darkness, sibling rivalry, and divine drama that literally saved the world. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the sun just vanished? Ancient Japan didn't just ask the question, they built a myth around it. And at the center of it all was Amaterasu, queen of the heavens, and the shining mother of the imperial bloodline. But when her light went out, the world trembled. What followed has captivated myth like no other. Amaterasu Omikami, which translates to Great Divinity Illuminating Heaven, isn't just a sun goddess. She's the crown jewel of Shinto mythology. She was also known by many other titles: Ohirume no Muchi no Kami, the great sun of the high plain, and Amaterasu Omikami, the supreme kami of light. Her brilliance wasn't just physical, it was spiritual, moral, and imperial. She was the mirror by which truth and purity were measured. Born from the left eye of the creator god Izanagi during a purification ritual, Amaterasu's light was so brilliant it illuminated the entire sky. Her brothers, Tsukuyomi, the moon god, and Susanoo, the storm god, were born from the same ritual, and like any dysfunctional divine family, things got complicated. Amaterasu ruled over Takamagahara, the high celestial plane, home of the gods. She wasn't just the light of the world, she was the spiritual ancestor of Japan's emperors. That's right, according to legend, the imperial family descends directly from her. And this wasn't just political mythology, it was sacred justification. The emperors of Japan were seen as living kami, descendants of Amaterasu herself, their divine lineage serving as the backbone of Japanese governance for centuries. Even today, the chrysanthemum throne holds symbolic ties to her celestial authority. Her relationship with her moon brother Tsukuyomi was strained. After he killed the goddess of food, Ukamochi, in a fit of disgust, Amaterasu cast him aside, declaring they would never share the sky again. That's why day and night are forever apart, a cosmic rift born from divine disappointment. But her brother Susanoo, he was chaos incarnate, wild, brash, unpredictable. He didn't vibe with his heavenly duties and was banished from the heavens for his reckless behavior. But before he left, he had one last divine tantrum, and it would nearly doom the world. Susanoo stormed into Amaterasu's realm under the guise of saying farewell, but chaos followed in his footsteps. He rampaged through the celestial plane, ripping up rice fields, flinging divine excrement into sacred halls, and worst of all, he destroyed Amaterasu's sacred weaving hall, killing one of her attendants in the process. That was the final straw. Heartbroken, furious, and filled with sorrow, Amaterasu retreated into the Amano Iwato, the heavenly rock cave. And when the goddess of the sun hides, guess what happens? Darkness. Endless, suffocating darkness spread across the world. Crops failed. Cold swept the land. Demons rose in the shadows. Chaos reigned without her light. In ancient Japan, sunlight wasn't just warmth, it was life itself. Agriculture, harvests, seasons, everything revolved around Amaterasu's glow. Her disappearance symbolized spiritual and literal death. The people believed that when the sun vanished, their link to the divine was severed. Rituals and offerings intensified. Temples echoed with chants, and the fear of eternal night crept into every household. The gods panicked. Life teetered on the edge of oblivion. Without Amaterasu, nothing could grow, nothing could thrive. The world was dying. Enter the Divine Emergency Response Team. The kami, the Shinto gods, gathered outside the sealed cave, desperate to bring Amaterasu back into the light. But how do you coax a goddess out of hiding when she's been humiliated and betrayed? With a party, a divine no-holds-barred celebration. It was the goddess Ame no Uzume, the kami of dawn and mirth, who had this wild idea. Her plan: laughter, joy, shock. She turned the crisis into a cosmic comedy show. Uzume flipped over a tub, stripped nearly naked, and danced like no one was watching, but everyone was. She stomped, she joked, she got downright ridiculous. And the gods? They howled with laughter. Amaterasu, curious and confused, peeked out from the cave, and that's when the gods struck. They had hidden a mirror, Yata no Kagami, the sacred eight-sided mirror, just just outside the cave. When Amaterasu peeked out, her own radiant reflection shone back at her. For the first time, she saw herself, not just as a wounded sister or betrayed deity, but as the shining light the world needed. The gods quickly rolled the rope behind her, sealing the cave so she couldn't retreat again. Slowly, cautiously, Amaterasu stepped back into the world, and just like that, light returned. The sun rose, shadows fled, crops grew, demons vanished, and humanity was saved. This wasn't just a gag. Uzume's dance was a sacred performance of Kagura, the earliest form of ritual Shinto theater. It's still performed in Japan today, often in shrines dedicated to Amaterasu. What began as divine distraction has evolved into centuries of cultural tradition, reminding people of the joy that once saved the world. Worship of Amaterasu continues in rituals like Kaname-sai, the harvest festival where the emperor himself offers the season's first rice to the goddess, reaffirming his sacred bond with her. The Ise Grand Shrine dedicated to the goddess remains closed to the public, its inner sanctum seen only by select Shinto priests and the imperial family, reinforcing the awe of her presence. Rebuilt every 20 years in a stunning act of spiritual renewal, Ise Shrine reflects the impermanence and rebirth at the heart of her story. It's said the mirror used to lure her from the cave rests here, though it remains unseen, hidden deep within sacred walls. The mirror became more than a tool. It became a national treasure. Together with the sword Kusanagi and the jewel Yasakani no Magatama, it formed the three sacred treasures of Japan. These items weren't just mythic. They became the ultimate symbol of legitimacy, carried into coronation and enshrined in imperial regalia. The mirror, jewel, and sword, the imperial regalia, each embody a virtue, wisdom, benevolence, and valor. These aren't just objects. They're moral compasses anchoring Japan's identity through myth and ceremony. They're sacred symbols of power, legitimacy, and light. It's more than just a cool myth. It's the heart of Japanese Shinto belief. This moment represents the power of renewal, the resilience of hope, and the importance of community. Even gods, it seems, need to be reminded of their worth. Amaterasu didn't just return, she re-emerged stronger, restored. She resumed her role over the heavens, and from that day forward, the Japanese imperial family claimed her as their divine ancestor. And in times of eclipse, when the sun darkens, some still whisper that Amaterasu is grieving once more. A quiet reminder, her sorrow once silenced the sky. And Susanoo, he didn't get off easy. After being banished, he had to prove his worth with heroic deeds, like slaying the fearsome serpent Yamata no Orochi and retrieving the sword Kusanagi. In some versions of the myth, Susanoo eventually offers the sword he finds inside Orochi's tail as a peace gift to Amaterasu, a divine apology. That sword becomes one of the three sacred treasures. Even chaos, when tempered, can yield symbols of peace. It's a reminder that darkness can be reconciled, and estranged gods, like estranged families, can find balance again. Amaterasu's story isn't just ancient mythology, it's alive. It echoes in Japan's culture, its traditions, and even its government. Her light is more than solar, it's spiritual. The next time the sun breaks through the clouds, think of her, the goddess who once turned away from the world and then saved it with her return. The sun that shines not because it has to, but because we called it back with laughter, reflection, and hope. So if you're ever feeling like you're stuck in your own cave, just remember, the gods once danced in the dark to bring back the light. And maybe, just maybe, that light lives in you too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more ancient secrets and divine drama. This has been Secret Archives, where myths come to life.